Okay. Hi, Daisy. It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you too.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
It's weird to say that, but I'm doing good.
really? Okay, before I would love to know why you're kind of surprised by that. I love that reaction, by the way. But before we go into it, as usual, I'm going to tell you everything that we talk about is confidential unless there's abuse of other people, self harm, children, elderly,
I know the spiel.
Yeah, okay. So, and you understand. So, great. But back to what we got to witness at the beginning. So, tell me a little bit about why you are surprised.
I'm not used to feeling good. I'm used to the stress just piling up.
Mm.
There's just with the kids and the working and every bill I have to pay, it's usually just like I'm like falling over. But I've just so much has gone right lately
Yeah,
that I think I'm doing good.
yeah. Well, this makes me so happy to hear because I feel like you're really getting an idea of like how much work and effort you've been putting into this process and how much we've grown. I've seen so much growth with you, and I am just so proud of you. And just to see you happy, that is already one area that is just a positive from this and from you coming to see me and us get to talk. And obviously, that means that we're reaching your goals that you wanted. Can only imagine you wouldn't be reaching your goals if you were still sad. So this is a positive direction. So tell me a little bit about what are some of the areas that you feel you've grown the most.
Well, I finally got food stamps, which
Okay.
means I can feed the kids
Yeah.
and not have to pick up all the bartending shifts in the middle of the night
Yeah.
like before.
Mhm.
And I got Medicaid, at least for the kids. So Sarah got her glasses.
Oh,
Wow,
good.
that made a difference.
Yeah.
You can't tell when she's just around the house that she can't see. But looking at her doing her homework, she's not like right here doing it anymore.
Yeah.
She's not complaining of headaches anymore.
Oh, see, and that's very important because um, with headaches and stuff, we kind of touched about that a little bit, but I mean it's hard to really put something like a headache and glasses together because why would you initially think that in the beginning? But I'm so glad that you followed through and we're able to get glasses for her and found that that was one way that we can like help with that. That's really good to hear.
And I really like that you found us that grant that got her the glasses
Yeah.
because even with the insurance, it was still a bit of money that I just didn't have.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's why I'm here is to be able to like help you with that and kind of navigate and see like what we can do. I'm so glad that you were able to utilize that. That just makes me so glad. So let's go back a little bit to the food stamp process. Do you want to kind of run me through that and tell me about your experience? Was it a good experience or how was that?
It was okay. I mean, I went where you told me to.
Yeah.
They had someone there who helped me fill it out,
Okay.
but it took so long and they messed it up.
Mm,
And they forgot Rudy on the application.
mm.
So they gave me some money, but they didn't have him. So I had to actually go back
Oh
and
wow.
remind and tell them I had a third kid.
Mm,
And so it took a little longer than what you told me would happen,
yeah.
but I did it.
Good. Well, I apologize for giving you an expectation of a process and then not thinking of things such as issues that could have clearly come up like they did in your case. And I'm so sorry about that. But I'm glad that you were able to get through that and get those food stamps.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, well, I just want to validate that you that was a goal from the beginning that you wanted to provide more for your kids, especially food wise, and you are doing that just by utilizing one resource. You're already being able to give them more than whenever we first started. And so that's great.
You also helped because I was able to talk to my boss a little about the fact that I have 3 kids and that I'm a single mother. And he shifted a few things a bit. And now most of my shifts are let out before school let out. I can go meet the kids at the bus stop. And like they're not waiting around forever and having to cook for themselves.
Yeah. Well, that is so great to hear that you are prioritizing what you want to prioritize and you advocated for yourself. Have you ever advocated for yourself before like that? No?
Nope.
Okay.
And the days that I can't, Danny found some after school club at school that he brought home a form for. And after talking to you about the food stamps and I actually looked in his folder, found the form and said, you know what, this might be a good idea.
Yeah.
So now they can stay at school and I don't have to pay for it.
Oh, okay, great. So this is like a after care service kind of thing that your school provides?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
There was a bit of a wait list, so we just started that like this week.
So how does that feel?
It feels good to know that. So say the shift runs till 5. Pickup goes until 5:30. I can still swing by the school and grab them. And it gives me an excuse to be like, I have to leave because they won't let my kids out without me.
Yeah. Well, and that's like really important to be able to express something like that. And I'm sure, do your kids have like friends that they have in the after school program? Well, okay. So they're busy. They get to play a little bit longer and have some fun after school.
That's how he found out. His best friend was like, hey, I go to that. Come with me. Come play. They get their homework done. So even by the time I get them, now their homework's done.
Yeah.
We can focus on us. And I can still work till 5:30.
Yeah. So and that feels a little less stressful. Is that what I hear from
Yes.
that? Okay. Yeah. So that's a really good opportunity for you and your kids. I'm glad to hear about that because I personally didn't know that your school offers that. So that's good information to know for going forward, especially with other people. I'm glad that you found that resource and was able to provide that for your children. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, they sound like they're gonna have fun and
good. Yeah, and they deserve that. So, and you deserve to feel less stressful. You have worked so hard to be where you are. You provide for them, and so kind of like leading on to this. Tell me a little bit more about where we're at with your support system. Is it still just you or?
Well, mostly.
Okay, as I know we've talked about your boyfriend.
Oh no, he's gone.
Oh, he is gone. Okay.
He is gone.
Will you tell me a little bit more about that?
It was kind of something you said. You said something about I deserved more than someone who just was there and who was there for his own needs and not mine or my kids. And then after I went to the doctor and found out about the STD, I wasn't putting up with it. My kids deserve better than that.
Yeah.
My kids deserve more than a guy who's barely there. Like, what's that doing?
Yeah.
So I kicked him to the curb. Now that I have these resources, I'd rather be by myself and with them than I would trying to please him.
Now, are you doing okay? I know that going through something like that can be kind of difficult. Tell me how you're handling that.
Well, you did help me find that nice counselor.
Okay.
I meet with them every week while the kids are at the after school program. And we've gotten to talk a lot about that, about the fact that I am able to do this myself. That, especially now with the resources I have with the counselor, the food, the Medicaid, I have what I need to make sure my kids are happy and healthy and keep myself happy and healthy. So while a guy can come in the future, did it really need to be a guy who only was there,
Yeah. Well, I think that is so brave of you to come to that conclusion. And is really cool to hear that something that I said helped influence you in a positive direction. Obviously, everything that we talk about is up to your own discretion on what you want to do with it. And to know that that helped motivate you is showing how much that us working together is progressing. And I do want to share with you, this is going to be our last session. I know this is something we've kind of talked about, but not too much. We haven't said that, well, this is our first last session. So I know that's a funny way to say that, but, we've been preparing ourselves for one day that will be a possibility. But today, unfortunately, is the day, and it makes me so sad. But also, with that sadness, it's a good type of sad. I feel like that whenever we are ending, that is a positive thing to praise. And that might sound odd to you at first.
Just a little.
Yeah, but so let me explain that a little bit. We have, from the beginning, set these goals, and we want you to get to those goals. So by terminating services, that means that we're reaching those goals. And I can list off a few things right now that we have already accomplished. We are getting you to be able to work less. We have you with food stamps, so you have assistance with your food. You are more positive in life, and you seem happier, and you even said like you haven't felt like this in a long time, and you're not even used to it, but you like it. And so we are getting you to a place where emotionally and just situationally you're more stable in life. And I hear that you have a system going, like you get to go to work, your kids get to go to school, you get to pick them up, you're advocating for yourself. There's so many positives that we can touch on, but that's just a few that I wanted to bring up. And the reason why we can end our services is because you have progressed, and it's time for you to be more independent. It sounds like you're doing great as it is. And I have full confidence that you can go out and advocate for yourself still and keep on going in a positive direction. And so my time here is just to help you kind of like get back up and get going. And so that would be why I say I'm happy and sad at the same time. So how does that make you feel, knowing that today's our last session?
I mean, it's hard because you've become a big support for me the last few months, trying to work together on all of this. But I know what you're saying. I know that you're saying that I can do this. I'm still working on believing that myself, but I'm hearing it from you. I'm hearing it from the other counselor, and like you've set me up with the other counselor. And now that Danny doesn't have to take care of the kids all the time, he's getting to go hang out with his friends, which means I'm meeting their parents, which means I can start talking to them a little more.
Yeah. So you're making connections, is that what I hear? Good. And that's important because you want your kids to be kids, and you want to branch out and make those connections and make friends so that you don't have to do this alone. I know that you say that like it's all you, but maybe it'll be beneficial for you to have other people to go to, since we won't be able to talk like we have before, and we won't have those scheduled sessions. But let other parents know what like struggles you're having at home. Tell them when you're frustrated, vent to someone, so you don't have to keep that to yourself. And I think you'll find yourself happier, and you won't have to hold those things in. And like you said, you have the counselor that you get to see for anger management, so that will be a very good thing for you to be able to keep up. And if you need to talk to your counselor about anything, at least you'll have another person that can kind of help you with that, since you get to work with them. But it sounds like you're just thriving right now.
I always thought I had to do this alone.
Yeah.
But after meeting with you, I realized I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have to be ashamed. Again, still trying to teach myself, but
Yeah.
I don't have to be afraid to ask for help or get more people. Like that's probably going to help me and my kids, as long as I pick the right people and not the
Mhm.
boyfriend who just wants to be around.
And that is so important. And I'm glad that you realize that, because if we realize our self worth, it can do so many powerful things. And you said you kicked your ex to the curb, and that just sounds like a powerful statement right there. And is that something that like you feel like good about?
I mean, it still hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, I still really cared about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of came to the realization between you and my other counselor that it was just like, what is this actually helping me with? Like,
Yeah.
all I'm actually doing is letting him take advantage of me.
Mm-hmm. And you deserve so much more than that. You deserve someone that is going to give you what you need and not just take.
Yeah, that was a big one I learned. And I'm still learning, but
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Well, life is a learning process. There's always going to be ups and downs, and you're always going to find something new to learn. And you might even look back and think, wow, I learned this, but I might change my mind again, you know? So I think that's great. You're open minded and you're focused and you're moving forward. And that is something that you will be able to continue to do and will only set you up for success.
And my nosy neighbor has finally started talking to me
Oh, okay.
rather than just judging me from her window.
Yeah.
And now that I'm home more, she'll actually say hello.
Okay.
And we've started to talk like at the mailbox or
okay.
not a lot, but like
Kind of small talk. Like
yeah.
So do you know anything about her from talking with her?
She likes puttering around in her flowers. And
Oh, okay.
she likes going to bingo and
Yeah.
she's a nice enough lady.
Yeah.
I was just so mad at her.
And that's understandable. I'm glad that you were able to talk with her and get to know her. That could be something that is very beneficial for you, especially her being your next door neighbor. That comes with knowing that someone is right there, you know, in case you have an emergency. That could be someone you could go to in the event, if you feel comfortable, of course.
I just realized that she's going to be nosy whether I know her or not. So it's almost better that she knows me.
Yeah.
So that if she's judging me, she's at least judging me for who I am and not what she thinks.
Yeah, and that's good. I am glad that you have come to that conclusion, especially yourself. Look at you. You are able to build your character and your support, and that is just something that is very, very smart for you to do, especially with like your surroundings. And it sounds to me kind of like you took a challenge and you're like, I'm not gonna let you look at me this way, and you don't even know me, and I'm gonna show you who I am. And you took initiative in a positive way, and we're like, you know what, she doesn't even know me, let me show her who I really am.
I'm not sure what you ladies did to me, but all of a sudden I got into this, I can. Hey, look at me. I did this, I did that.
Yeah.
And I guess it just kind of went from there.
Yeah. Well, it's so important to just accept who you are in a positive thinking. There's just so many benefits to that. You don't have to live in this sadness or like stuck kind of mindset and environment. And so I just think you're doing so much for yourself. And that was something that we kind of talked about in the beginning when we first met, is that you don't really ask for help. I'm the first person that ever showed you some of the resources and told you it's okay to get help. And that's where it all began. And look where we are now. Like, the progress is just outstanding. And this is for you, and you're doing something for yourself, so then you can do things for your children and your family and now your friends and support system that could possibly be around you. So this is so great. So Tell me, is there anything, we've touched a little bit on some of the goals that we've kind of accomplished. Is there anything that we might have not addressed that you wish we would have? Any goals we haven't reached?
No,
No?
I want a very simple life.
Yeah.
I don't need a lot, but
Mhm.
you've helped me make it so I can balance the
Okay.
work and the family
Yeah.
at least somewhat. I mean, it's still not easy.
Mhm.
I still don't make a lot of money, but at least now I'm not worried that I'm going to lose my house and my kids are going to have to sleep on the street,
Mhm.
or I'm not going to have enough food to feed them.
Yes.
Just the little help I've gotten. And you set me up with a counselor who's now like looking into the housing stuff and making sure that I can sustain myself
Mhm.
without, and still almost work full time.
Yeah.
But just on a schedule that can work for me and my kids, and the job training you set me up with
Mhm.
that will start soon.
Yeah.
And maybe I can find a new job that really works with the kids,
Yeah.
maybe even in a school.
Mhm. And just to clarify, do you feel confident that you can find those resources and kind of like navigate through this journey that you have an idea of what you would like for the future?
For the most part, I still may have questions.
Yeah.
But between the outside counselor and from what your front office was telling me, I can always call them at any point.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's something I was going to share is that if you ever have any questions, feel free to call. But utilize that counselor as well that you get to meet with. They should be able to help you with any questions you have as well. But just know that there are so many places that would love to offer aid if you ever need. It's just a phone call away. So.
Good to know.
Yeah, so that's great. But so I hear you're confident and able to do this and move forward. I feel so confident in you, just myself, knowing that you are ready, you are prepared, you are equipped, you have listened, you have worked, and you're going to go out there and you're going to do this and you're going to take care of your family and work hard. I have no worries with you whatsoever. I want to thank you so much for coming and working with me. It's been such a pleasure, and I've loved seeing the progress that you've made. You've really, really grown so much more than you probably can even see yourself. It's been so amazing. We have gotten you food stamps. We've gotten you health care services. You are advocating for yourself in the workplace. You aren't letting yourself be mistreated by your ex, and you're just in a positive direction. So I'm so thankful and blessed to be able to watch all of this progress as it has. And I hope that you have learned by coming with me and we have accomplished everything that you wanted to, and you feel that you'll be able to accomplish more goals in the future. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Daisy. It was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you.